What's going on YouTube? Dapper Dan here. Another beautiful day here in Colorado. So nice out. Today I'm going to be talking about my personal favorite type of motorcycle. One type of motorcycle that I feel like I will always have, and personally I think it's a good type of motorcycle for anybody to have. Now, I've ridden almost every kind of motorcycle that you can ride. I've ridden cruisers, I've ridden a touring bike with that Street Glide that I test rode a couple years ago. I've ridden a lot of sport bikes, obviously, and I've ridden some naked bikes and a few supermotos. I think that's it. I have not ridden, one motorcycle type that I've not ridden is adventure bikes. Not ridden an adventure bike. Someday I will ride one of those, but they are still a little too tall for me. As you guys know, I'm not the tallest. So the one that I am very interested in riding is the Harley Davidson one, the Pan America, because that one has the suspension that lowers for you to get onto it, or lowers it when you're coming to a stop. That suspension is like adjustable. I don't know how it's adjustable, but it is adjustable. I would love to test ride one of those, but that's definitely one adventure bike I would be interested, because at the lowest point I think it's doable for me, but at the highest point, obviously, definitely not. That's why most naked bikes, or not naked bikes, most adventure bikes are not for me. They are way too tall, and being that tall, they are extremely heavy too. So for me, in my opinion, adventure bikes are for like, hi puppy, adventure bikes are for like touring around the country. You do not want to take one of those off-road, because if you drop it and you don't have anybody to help you, good luck getting that back up when you're off-road. I've heard great things about the BMW adventure bike, the GS, whatever it is, 1200 or something, I don't know. I've heard great things about that. People love taking those all the way across the country, touring around with them, but I don't think they are good for going off-road much more than like a dirt road. Obviously they could do a dirt road just fine, but anything more than that, I would not take those on. So anyway, back to the original point of this video. Out of all of those different styles of motorcycles that I've ridden, I feel like my favorite type of motorcycle is supermotos. They are just so versatile, and even having a taller seat height, they are pretty easy to ride. So like a normal, see, there's an adventure bike right there. That's probably a couple of them, probably too high for me. So as you guys can see, this supermoto, I have my toes and from like the ball of my foot forward on the ground. Hopefully you can see that. And that's on both sides, so I can touch. If I stand all the way up straight, I can put, if I stand all the way up straight, I can put more of my foot on the ground. But anyway, so a normal dirt bike I've ridden as well, but a normal dirt bike, the seat height is like 37 inches. And with the knobby tires, it makes it a little bit higher as well. Now supermoto, though, the seat height of most supermotos is like 35 inches, which is still pretty tall, but the tires are not as tall, for one, and for two, the tires are smaller. It's usually 2 inches smaller, so 17-inch tires on the front and rear. so that lowers the bike a lot, and it makes it more approachable. So the reason I like supermotos too is they're basically good at everything. So there's lots of torque down low. You can use it for a track bike. Obviously it'll have to be a small track. It won't be a big track like something you would use a sport bike at, but a smaller track is perfectly fine for supermotos. Supermotos, you can get a way better lane angle than you can on a sport bike, and obviously much more than a lane angle than you can get on a cruiser. So it could be used as a really cool track bike on a small track, and they're good for going around town. And they're obviously, if you are good at it, if you want to, you can wheelie them, you can do stoppies on them. They're lightweight, usually like 250 pounds or less. This one obviously is a little more because I got the giant batteries, or the one giant battery. Supermotos are, since they're basically dirt bikes, they can take a beating. They are made to be dropped, made to be, if you're doing wheelie, obviously the piston's not going to be straight up and down, so it's made to stay running no matter what angle it's at, unless obviously probably upside down it would not run, I would imagine. So it's made to be running at basically any angle. And if you were to drop a supermoto, normal supermoto, obviously not this one because this one has way better plastics than normal, but any normal supermoto, replacing all the plastics, every single piece on that bike, the plastic pieces, would be about $100 or maybe even less. If you did that on a sport bike, one single fairing on the side of the bike, that's at least $400 to replace. Obviously naked bikes don't have fairings, and neither do cruisers, and probably, I don't know, adventure bikes don't have those either, but you wouldn't really use an adventure bike on like a track or something. So supermotos to me are just the most versatile bike, and it's good at everything, much like myself. It's good at everything, not excellent at any one thing, but you can use it for whatever you want. On supermotos, I've seen pictures of people getting their elbow down when they're leaning in a corner. It's probably hard to do, but definitely looks cool, and you can't do that on a sport bike. And so that supermoto is one type of motorcycle I feel like I will always have. That's why I made it into my channel logo. I integrated supermoto into my channel logo. That's why, because it's one bike that I'll always have. Sure, sport bikes will come and go. Probably not have one of those again though. Cruisers will come and go. Naked bikes, I have not owned one of those yet, but I've ridden them. I do like them. But supermoto, that is one that will stay as part of the stable. That's my favorite type of motorcycle. But anyway guys, that's all I got for you in this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite type of motorcycle is. If you've ridden it or not, just let me know what your favorite type is. If you really enjoyed today's video, share it with a friend. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and have a good day. Later.